Finally figured out why my IPMT is not working. I realized that right after year one, it started to change numbers, but everything in year one is correct, and then afterwards is just not correct. And it's because I have the formatted like this. So I should just format it, all the way up to 180, not like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I have the months. So I'm going to delete all this. Basically all this. I'm going to unmerge these cells. Let's just move everything one cell to the left. And yes, guys, I am showing you my mistakes. It's good that you guys see my mistakes, so you don't make the same mistakes I do. Great. So we're not going to name this years. We're just going to name it months, and we're just going to show 180 months basically. So 1, this plus 1, and we're going to go all the way down to 180. And now we should be getting the correct number. So we're going to try this once again all over. I'm going to make this no fill. Alright, so IPMT, I'm going to use this rate for this specific period, and the total number of periods, and the negative. Oops. Right. We lock that, we lock the loan, we lock the rate, and we lock the number of periods. Let me drag it one more time, and it gives us the correct answer. I'm going to drag it down, probably a couple more times. Let's see if this is the same. Is this the same as this? And it looks good. This is good. Great. So I guess that was the problem, guys. When we're trying to do this monthly, we're just going to put the number of months. We don't have to do it the other way I was showing you guys, or else Excel doesn't know what to do. Let's see. Yep, everything's correct here. Yes. Great. So now I can show you guys how to do the PPMT function, since the IPMT function is working. So I'm just showing you guys how to use Excel functions. You don't have to do this, but some people might find this faster than the other method, but honestly I find this faster. I find this method not so fast, because as you can see I was having problems, and then you have to figure out what kind of problems to do, how to fix these problems basically. So PPMT, do the rate again, the period. It's basically the same process all over again, same information I meant to say. And we're going to just have to lock the rate, the period, and the loan. Oh, what happened? Oh, I forgot to put a... Okay. This is the same. Yes, it is. Let's try it again. Yep. Looks like we got the same throughout. I'll put a lighter color. One more time. Yep. Looks like we're good, so we're going to drag it down all the way again. Let's check the last one. Yes, it's correct. Great. Good. And finally, the last function, the PMT function, which we don't really need to show you that because we already did it up here. And it's going to be the same, so I don't have to show you that. But I can show you how to do it manually. So in order to find out PMT, we're going to subtract IPMT minus interest payment plus principal payment what we get, oh, sorry. Oh, I see. Oh, sorry that kept popping up. And then let me just show you guys the manual way of calculating PPMT. Color. So we're going to do this thing again, and like I said before, you basically have to subtract the total payment minus the interest payment in order to get your PPMT value. And just drag it down again. We got the same values. See? So, oh, yeah. What happened? All right. So there's two ways of calculating PPMT. Actually, there's two ways for each. Calculate IPMT. You can either use the manual way, the formulas, or you can use the Excel functions. Either way, you get the job done. So now, there's another thing I want to show you guys is how to check your work. How to check if you have the correct values through your amortization table. In order to do that, we have to subtract the IPMT minus the PPMT and the total payment. It should equal to 0. In this case, it's not giving me 0. Let's see why. Total payment. I see why, guys. So I'm doing the order wrong. We still have to subtract, but I'm doing it the opposite way. So we have to subtract the total payment, because if you subtract using the smaller number than the bigger number, you're going to get negative values. So total payment minus PPMT minus, and we get 0. See if we keep getting 0 all the way through. And it should have been the same for the previous loans. I was just doing the formula the opposite way. So remember, it's like how I told you in the beginning of the video that the book will show you the amortization table in a different format. They will put the total payment right next to the beginning principal. You could do that too, like in this case. It's pretty useful. But if you can remember what goes first when subtracting, then you should be fine. So let me just make this small so we don't get confused of where we got these values from. Because it's not really part of the amortization table, it's just a check your work kind of thing. Alright. Now I'm going to put all these to the side or just make it really small. So, I'm going to make it small. I'm going to make them small so that way we don't have to see that. So in order to we want to figure out if our loan is a fair deal. Now in order to see if this is a fair deal, we have to make sure that the present value of the total payment of each period is going to be the same amount as the loan. So what I mean is all these total payments, present value of the total payments each year should be summed up, and it should be equal to your beginning principal loan amount. So let's test it out. I'm going to put PV present value of payments. So remember the formula is future value, which is the future value for the first year, over 1 plus the rate, and to the power of that specific period. And now the values are not going to be the same as total payments, so we don't have to worry about that. So that's all we're locking. Let's see if we got this correct. Yep. Looks about right. Now we're going to drag it down all the way down. Good. Now, the moment of truth is to see if all these values my computer's acting up a bit. Okay. It's just taking its sweet time. Okay. So now we're going to find out what's going on. So the sum of the present values is basically what you're trying to figure out and see if this is a fair deal. Sum of all this. And close. And yep, it looks like it's a good loan. See? I'm going to make this probably red. Nope, not red. That's a bad color. So this value is the same as this value. And this means that this loan for this specific interest rate is a fair loan. So there you go. That's basically it for this one. I could go back and fix this, and check. I'm going to go back to the other two loans and check. Do the check to show you guys what I was doing was wrong. This minus principal payment minus interest payment. Yep, it's 0 all the way through. I'm just going to check this one too. Oh, it did work for this one. Yeah, okay. It worked for this one, even though it's not the correct format, but it's probably because it's 0 value, but I went through it the correct way. Minus this. Great. Don't want to confuse you guys. So once again, these are the 3 main loans you're gonna have to know by heart. So I hope I was able to help you guys, and thanks for listening for this chapter.